All right, I'm over here with Matt, having him check out the property I'm working on. He did a video at the very beginning of this project before we took off on the tour, and I spent like 3 or 4 days on it then. And what I got done was I chopped everything down on the front of the house, and I got everything down on the back of the house. Now it doesn't look like everything's down, but if you come over here, this is just the growth. This is the growth from a mulberry tree in about 3 months from when I was out on tour. So we're gonna come in and I'm gonna cut all that down, and I'm gonna grind down all these stumps. We had some dirt work in the front. There was a pond up here and stuff. So we got that leveled out. So this has got to be the biggest project I've ever worked on. So the front yard's pretty minimal, but it was still a lot. And we're working with the homeowner and a plumbing company right now, because she's been without water for 2 years, now almost 3, because I met her about a year ago. And we're gonna try to get some water back on her house. We're gonna pay for that and get that taken care of. Yesterday, I actually paid property taxes for the first time in my life. And it was actually property taxes for this property because she was behind, and I wanted to make sure they weren't gonna steal her house. Let's go take a look at the backyard. All right, so coming back here, you'll recognize this from Matt's first video. It was just overgrown, 6, 7 foot high with grass. I got that all cut before we went on tour, but I told her not to worry about the grass, basically because the yard was unmaintainable anyways. I told her not to worry about the grass. I'd take care of it when I got back. So at this point, I'm still in the middle of the process of cleaning it up. Total, I don't know how many days we've been here, but it's been a lot. I've been borrowing my buddy's 18-foot dump trailer, and we've taken 6 or 7 loads of brush out of here, which we got a big pile of brush over here still to go. We got a lot to cut down around the fence, around the house, all that stuff. We're gonna come in and grind down all the stumps that we left. And then over here, we've got a load of just random yard trash that builds up over the years. So we're gonna haul that away. We've taken 2 loads of waste that's actually refuse waste off the property as well. And if you come back here, you see a trampoline over here, a swing set over there, just stuff everywhere. You can see we had to basically take the yard back to dirt. There's nothing really growing. And what was growing here, it might look like hay, but this is Johnson grass. And yeah, you don't want this. So we're gonna cut it down, get it as low as possible. I'm gonna drop some grass seed on it. She doesn't have water yet, so it'll either take or it won't, but either way, I'll do an update and come back in the spring and hit it with more grass seed. It doesn't matter, whatever it takes. You think my baseball? This was a 20-foot plus privet, which is like I don't want to say it's native, but it grows like a native tree around here. It's invasive. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it just grows wild here. But this was the biggest one I've ever cut down. As far as, you can just look at the trunk and see how massive it is. So this is one of our big ones to grind down, and we got a couple more over here. There was poison ivy in here. If you see right here, this real furry vine. That's the poison ivy. Luckily, I didn't get poison ivy on this project, but I was crawling in it. I just took precautions. When I got home, I was taking showers with Dawn dish soap, and it's all good. Over here, there was a chain link fence, and I was cutting all this stuff, and I had to crawl underneath it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm finally at the neighbor's fence. It's all good. I got everything cut, right? No. Once I got everything pulled out, it's a dog kennel. So she didn't want it. It was just here when they moved in the house. We yanked it out, got that out of here. So it's a lot of work. You know, I've never had to bust out a mini skid. We used a mini skid on this project to knock it out. We're gonna be doing some more. I'm gonna come in and cut everything down, clean everything up, and then we're gonna level off the dirt some more, do some grass seed after that. We still have a ton of cleanup. We got all the fence line, all around the property. We gotta get up close to the house. A lot of people aren't fans of chemicals, but I am gonna spray everything on the side of the house. so it doesn't grow back, because it was completely overtaking her house when I got here, you know. And then even here, her power line, well, you're not going to be able to see it because of the sun, but the trees are growing through the power line and stuff, so we're going to take some weight off over
right
here and kind of prevent that from being an issue down the road.
There you go.
But this one is a very large, very ongoing project. Like I said, I've never had a project that I've come up against that I couldn't knock out in 1 or 2 days. And this one, it'll be a couple weeks of work when I'm done, but it's gonna look good. And also, I'm looking at her house, and it's a good candidate for a paint job as well. So, you know, we'll show you that in a second up here at the front. Let's look at the back of this one.
Yeah, I've seen some rotten boards and pulling away from the house.
Over here is all the overgrowth I was talking about, but all this was roof line high. You couldn't see the back of the house. Is that my new wheelbarrow?
It's fancy.
I bought that when I was in Kansas. I like the 2-wheel.
Makes it easier to balance.
Yeah, you can fit a lot
That's a
more.
huge bucket.
The only thing that's wrong with these is they make them out of plastic. I'd like to buy one that's metal. You know, like
A little bit more sturdy.
they're a couple $100. They last a couple years, and by then you busted holes in it, throwing rocks and everything. This right here, this is poison ivy. This is something I got to get to. It's going up the side of her house, and then there's some brush on the side of her house over here as well. So I don't know what all I'm going to do on this property. It seems like when I'm ready to stop, more shows up, and I keep going. So this may be one that I just treat it as a passion project and go top to bottom on the property and don't stop until I feel it's done. We'll see.
Don't stop till you drop.
Yeah, let's take a look at the paint. You can see it's all messed up here. She needs new siding. That's what I was saying. This would be a really good candidate for coming in and doing something.
And they got some holes there.
So we might take care of that. I'm not sure yet. So far on the project, it's been a lot. It's been about 10 grand. Well, I will after the plumbing's taken care of. But, you know, I mean, this is a cool one because it's really impactful for somebody. This is changing her life. As far as the house goes, she was living here with her father, and her father passed away, and her mother passed away, and she inherited the house, but I think she fell into a depression, and it just kind of went into the state that it's in. And then, you know, like a lot of people, you get caught up in work. All you can do is, you know, go to work, and then, you know, a little lawn mowing job turns into a big cleanup, which turns into a massive cleanup, which turns into something that even if she wanted to, there's absolutely no way she could take care of it. I mean, for me, I don't get overwhelmed very often. I came back here and I felt very claustrophobic, and it's one of the only projects I ever felt like, man, I don't know if I can do this one. You know, I mean, I've said it before on some of my projects, but this is one that was really, really, it was
a lot.
It was rough. It still is rough, man.
You couldn't even make it past the gate when I first came over, so.
No, it was bad. There's still a lot to do. Like, I mean, it looks like a lot's been done, especially knowing where it started, but there's a lot more to go. Anyways, that's the update on here. Sneak peek from Matt's channel.
Yeah.
Channel takeover.
Guys, he doesn't have to do any of this stuff. He chooses to do this, the kindness of his heart, and he's just a good dude.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is, you know, I was just mowing lawns when I started my channel, and, you know, I'd go cut somebody's lawn across the street or something. If I saw somebody that was old, struggling to cut their lawn, I'd go cut their lawn. And that's really cool, and I get a lot of people that say, oh, wow, if it's not an act of kindness if you film it, but the only reason I get to do really cool projects and get to do big stuff is because I've created a business model where I film it and put it out there, and that's how it's funded, and it's turned into something really, really enjoyable and something I'm passionate about and enjoy, and it's not stressful. I get to pick the projects I want.
Yeah.
You know, I get to work at the pace I want.
Well,
Normally,
you get
I'm still working at a good pace. This one, I'm taking my time.
Yeah.
I come over, all right, I gotta go look at something else for a while, and then I'll go cut some other yards, and I'll come back to it. So this one's been a very relaxed pace, but the homeowner seems to be very happy and very grateful. When we paid her taxes yesterday, I sent her a text. And she said she was crying, and you know, she just showed her appreciation. And I can't imagine if somebody did that for me, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
and just being able to have
huge.
that, it's really, really an amazing thing.
So.
But I couldn't do it without my channel.
Yeah.
And you're gonna cut some crazy yards next year?
Oh yeah.
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 Every day.
Not every day.
Hey, look at this. Just junk everywhere, man.
What is that? An old pressure gauge?
Some kind of gauge, yeah.
Yeah.
There was right here. I kind of got it dug out. There's trash there underneath the grass.
It's a grenade.
Yeah. It was probably, I don't know, 12 inches deep, but it was level with the ground. So I don't know if they just started putting stuff there and filled a hole or something. I have no idea.
Huh.
I don't know. She had kids too. So, you know, kids do crazy stuff. Dig holes, do weird stuff. I don't know. That's that. That's this project. That's an update. I hope you enjoyed it.
You gotta do a sign out.